Hello, everyone. This is Justin and Caesar, and this is Room 403. Today, we are talking about California general election. This is the local propositions. I read, what would you call it? Oh, the official voter information guide. Caesar and I both got these. They come in the mail. So there's a few that are on there, but we're only going to talk for just a while about 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 of them, and we might reference some other ones that will kind of come up. But all right, first one, Proposition 56.
Proposition 56. All right. Proposition 56. Cigarette tax to fund healthcare, tobacco use prevention, research, and law enforcement. Initiative, constitutional amendment, and statute. Cigarette tax to fund things.
Yeah.
So we're pretty much just going to increase the price on cigarette, and the tax is going to go for other things.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty much it.
So I chose this because, to me, this is like, the issue isn't the issue itself, it's what it represents. And California has been on this weird tobacco war, and it's crazy to me. And this is another step to that tobacco war.
Yeah, every year it seems like
Yeah.
there's always a tax, and limits, restrictions, or pictures to show people what cigarettes do, or big warnings on the cases, packets of cigarettes. And now it's 2016, and here's number 56.
Its main thing is it increases cigarette tax by $2. And that's not just the tax, that's the tax with the old tax. So right now, our tax is 87 cents per pack.
Mm-hmm.
So this new proposition will bring up the tax to $2.87.
Yeah.
And what is crazy, I think, is that it's all tobacco products. That's e-cigarettes, that's dip, of course, cigarettes, cigars, anything tobacco is getting this tax.
So, since you buy cigarettes, I know you do you agree with this? Would you mind spending another $2 for healthcare, tobacco use prevention, research, and law enforcement?
So this is my stance on Proposition 56. I am against it.
Mm-hmm.
I am totally against taxing businesses just because you don't like their product. So you're taxing tobacco companies, you're taxing the liquor stores, you're taxing any stores that have this product. You're basically belittling this product that people use. And I understand it, but I think it's wrong to tax something like this just because it's tobacco. And people were like, hey, let's get rid of tobacco. Yeah, okay,
Sure.
woo. And yeah, if you don't smoke, great, that's fine. But there are a lot of people that do, and a lot of people that actually like to smoke. And it's crazy to me that it's kind of attacking a whole group of people by making them pay for something that they've been getting basically their whole adult lives. And it's just weird. It feels like we're punishing these people for smoking.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't like that. Because I know a lot of smokers, and
They just smoke.
Yeah, they just smoke. It's their choice. Why would you punish them for making a choice that they want to make?
Mm-hmm.
And that's my main stance on it.
It's a good one. Yeah. If people want to smoke, even though it's killing them, let them.
Mm-hmm.
Let the individual decide their own fate, what they do to themselves.
Yeah.
Right now, tobacco is the enemy.
Yeah, and it's been that way. Like,
Yeah.
I know for a while, people used to smoke like crazy, but now you see all these anti-smoking ads.
It's a big tobacco.
Big tobacco. And like, it came in the 90s, right? It was the whole truth campaign, and people were outside the tobacco companies, like making a riot. Not a riot, but they were going like no more tobacco. Like,
Right.
That's taking responsibility of the person and putting it on someone else just because they're giving it to them.
And it's a business too.
Yeah.
So it's people going against capitalism.
Yeah, and it's a weird war that we've been fighting for a long time, and it's really a big step. Like, I thought it was a big step when the age was raised from 18 to 21.
Mm-hmm.
I can't believe that passed. Like, everyone that I knew, like, in that same idea is like, hey, let's drop the drinking age from 21 to 18. Europe does it. And I'm like, yeah, like, that's the way we're going, where we're going to stop making things illegal or demonizing something. But there we go, and we raised the tobacco age. I'm like, whoa, like, that's a weird step backwards, I think, in our...
Let's make medical marijuana legal
Yeah.
and all right, but tobacco.
Yeah, tobacco, no. Like, it's just really weird to me. I'm all for people choosing what they want to do, buying what they want, and having no restrictions.
Right.
And this is just, I think, another step before they start making tobacco illegal. Because if you just start raising the price, people are going to quit, or it's just making a next step to making it illegal. I don't know why they grouped everything together. Like, it's really annoying because
it's just one big umbrella, just nicotine.
Yeah, nicotine,
tobacco, or something like that. Just tobacco.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. But the whole thing on it, which I think is like, it's really weird. It shows up quite a bit, taxing something and sending that money towards something kind of related to it.
Mm-hmm.
And then this one is all the tax will go to prevention and research of cancer. Because that's what happened with now taxes on page 47. It shows you where the taxes go. In 1993, one of the taxes went to breast cancer fund. Mm-hmm. So they're like, hey, and I think that's another thing going against tobacco is, hey, let's do it towards breast cancer because, cigarettes cause breast cancer. And they're just like pushing the stigma. So they're demonizing tobacco and saying, hey, this stuff is bad, let's tax it. And you know what? Let's use that money to help the people that tobacco hurt. And that's the cancer victims, which is not the case in most cases.
So the DPH reports that e-cigarette use amongst California adults was about 4% in 2013, nearly doubling compared to the year prior, because e-cigarettes are relatively new products. However, there is little information to determine longer-term use of e-cigarettes. So they don't even know, and they're just like, put it in there.
Yeah.
Just because it's a cigarette.
It's really interesting because here there's summary of estimate of how much money they will get. And they think that yearly with this tax, California can make to $1 billion to $1.4 billion in 2017 to 18. And on the next page, it gives an actual analysis by someone who does this for a living. And they're like, yeah, first it will kind of look like that if people aren't deterred from buying cigarettes. Because that number will go down if people just say, screw it, and I'm not going to buy cigarettes. And they say that number will start to decrease as years go on because of that. More people will start to quit, which is, what they want. But even their thing where they're like, hey, let's tax it. This money will go to something good. But after about 10 years, this money will become barely anything because no one will be buying cigarettes.
They're just trying to stop people from smoking, pretty much.
And I don't like that idea. It's not, they package it for hey, the state could be, it's good for taxes, it's good for the public, it's going to good things, but it's really just getting people to stop smoking, which I understand. On a health way, people will be more healthy, but who cares? I don't care if someone's healthy or not. We eat shitty food. We do shitty things. No one exercises. I don't blame tobacco for that. I blame that on the people.
Mm-hmm.
So blaming like bad health on cigarettes when someone's whole life they just eat like awful salt filled food and don't move and they're like, oh yeah, like this cigarette's killing me. It's like, no, a lot of things are killing you, sir. Cigarettes, yeah, they have a little part of it, but I think we're focusing too much on cigarettes. So this next proposition thought it was pretty interesting. I mean, it's how the last one was not very progressive in my eyes. Proposition 57 is a little more progressive. And you want to read that title out?
Proposition 57, criminal sentences, parole, juvenile criminal proceedings and sentencing, initiative, constitutional amendment, and statute.
So basically, it's lowering the bar of parole. Like people that are doing nonviolent crimes will be up for parole when normally they won't be. My whole idea about this is our whole prison system is pretty archaic. Like just the idea of prisons, like, hey, we don't like this guy, let's throw him in a jail cell and just have him sit there. Is pretty weird to me. I don't like the thought of people sitting in jail. Like it bothers me. And especially for things that they shouldn't be sitting in jail for.
Provides juvenile court judges shall make determination upon prosecutor motion whether juveniles aged 14 and older should be prosecuted and sentenced as adults for specific offenses. Oh, that's an added thing to that. So, okay, allows parole consideration for persons convicted of nonviolent felonies upon completion of prison term for their primary offense as defined. Authorizes the Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation to award sentence credits for rehabilitation, good behavior, or educational achievements. Interesting. Requires Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation to adopt regulations to implement new parole and sentence credit provisions and certify they enhance public safety. Provides juvenile court judges. That's weird. Provides juvenile court judges shall make determination upon prosecution motion whether juveniles age 14 and older should be prosecuted and sentenced as adults for specified offenses. Summary of legislation analysis estimate on that. This is actually the part where they
talk about the money part, because everyone
savings,
all these propositions, it's about the money.
Net
Because
state savings likely in the tens of millions of dollars annually. So primarily due to reductions in the prison population. Savings would depend on how certain provisions are implemented. Net country cost of likely fuel. Okay. Adult sentencing. So it's not just juveniles. It's actually, I guess that's the word they use.
Yeah, it deals with juvenile because it carries over. It's two different sections. You have the juvie courts and you have the adult courts.
The measure changes the state constitution to make individuals who are convicted of non-violent felony offenses eligible for parole consideration after serving the full prison term of the primary offense. Okay. Authority to award credits, so people will get, they actually get credits for good behavior and stuff.
I like that. That's a very progressive move.
And then juvenile transfer hearings. The measure changes the state law to require that before youths can be transferred to adult court, they must have a hearing in juvenile court to determine whether they should be transferred.
So, like if a juvenile killed someone, and they're like 17 years old, they could be tried as an adult and not even step forth in like a juvenile courtroom.
So they get a courtroom.
They have to go through there first, which I've never been a fan of a child or being charged as an adult because it's stupid. Like, why even like have that separation? Like, it's like, yeah, you're an adult at 18, it switches over. But if you're 17, you're close enough. You're an adult. Like, no, like if you're going to make that line, you can't cross it. And if you want to cross it, get rid of the line. These weird things where you could charge a 16-year-old as an adult just because he killed someone. Like, it doesn't mean that he's still not 16. Like, just because he has a more heinous crime, they should still be considered a child.
Well, there's sides to that. What if this is a very cunning child? What if it's 16-year-old is like, well, I'm a kid, so I'm going to kill my parents, and I know I'm not going to adult court. By your way of thinking, he wouldn't be an adult. He wouldn't be tried. He's just smart enough to play the game.
Yeah. I mean, like, if we set the rules, we shouldn't go back on him because he's cunning. We built that in there. I think it's a dumb thing. I think it's weird that we split children offenses and adult offenses. It should all kind of be the same. I don't know why a 16-year-old is different than a 23-year-old. It's like they know better. It's like, well, both of them know better. They're still fully functioning, thinking people. And yeah, the 16-year-old has all those hormones and stuff going on, but it still doesn't. The fact of what they've done is still it should be equal justice. But just because they put there, I'm gonna play by that rule that this line exists between adult and child, and we shouldn't cross it because we put it there. And if we want to cross it, just take it out. But I don't like these weird stipulations where it's like maybe this or maybe that.
This seems to be one step forward to taking that line out.
Well,
kind of, because either the kid is an adult or it's not. But this one it guarantees him a court date beforehand to judge if he's a child or
exactly
or a very cunning 16-year-old who knows how to play the system,
Yeah.
So that's how I kind of see it.
Because juvenile sentence, it says in here how juvie is different. They go through classes. Where is that? Yeah. Use in juvenile court. Juvenile court proceedings are different than adult court proceedings. For example, juvenile court judges do not sentence a youth to a set term in prison or jail. Instead, the judge determines the appropriate placement and rehabilitative treatment. Now, I think all people should have that option because that's stupid where it's like, hey, I beat up some guy because he was a super dick and he threw water in my face. So instead of going to jail for assault, they're like, all right, maybe you should take care of this. And it's just really weird because as a kid, if a kid was to beat someone up, they would go through anger management. If an adult was to do it, they get sent to jail. And that's why are you set just because kids are more important and fuck the adult because he's older. Everyone should have the ability to really rehabilitation, and I don't think jail is rehabilitation.
And this doesn't just release people; it's for
it's
early.
It's so
parole.
You're seen, yeah.
Yeah, so you could be seen in front of a judge, and then they'll decide, well, you kind of raped a child, so no.
Yeah.
It's not just like, oh, you did your time, and now you're out, Queuing Queensryche, No, it's not like that.
Yeah,
it says it's for parole, so it's not an automatically get out of jail free card. It's you get your time in front of a judge, and he can still say no.
Yeah. But you get that chance, and I love giving these people chances, because I don't know why people that just go like, oh, he's a prisoner, fuck him, let him burn. Like, whoa, that is no understanding of how a human life is. It's so selfish to me. But yeah, just because a lot of things are considered felonies. If I went to go get a cherry bomb, throw it in a
bank.
Well, I guess a bank.
Oh, you mean a postal?
Yeah,
yeah.
a
mailbox.
A mailbox. If I put a cherry bomb in a mailbox and it blows up, I am a felon.
That's a federal offense.
That's a federal offense. I'm a felon, and I'm now being sent to jail for that. I like this for stuff like that. Dumb shit that's considered federal, and then just dumb things that people like. I know there's someone in jail because they fucked with the mail, and they're now being faced with this kind of felony. And that's the kind of people, the people that just made dumb mistakes because they were either drunk or whatever. The argument in favor and the rebuttal and the argument against and the rebuttal. The argument against it, they're like, hey, they're going to let out all the rapists, all the murderers. And like, no, like that's not how you classify nonviolence.
And it's not letting them out for free.
Yeah,
They're not getting out. They're
Yeah, they're
just
just
seeing
getting the chance.
yeah, they're getting the early parole.
Mm-hmm.
They can still say no.
Yeah, because it's still a judge. It's still like his like word or her word, but they're just being seen earlier, which I think that's great. All right. So the next proposition is in the same ballpark. Proposition 62.
Death penalty.
Yeah.
Initiative statute.
If you're following along at home, this is page 78.
Bing, bing.
All right. But yeah, death penalty. This is so straightforward because right now we have the death penalty. This is saying, hey, let's get rid of it. That's it. And here they show all the figures of like how much money it could save, blah, blah, blah.
That's funny. Like kind of morbid, right?
Yeah.
It's like man's life is in your hands. But this is how much money we save and how much money we're going to spend.
Yeah, that's mainly what this is.
Yeah.
And that's how a lot of people think.
So do I want to spend so much money having a convicted killer in jail for 30 years? Or should I just kill him off
That's
like
the question.
30 years?
Yeah.
Because it still takes the same amount of time.
Yeah,
right?
it's the same amount of time. What they say in here is we'll save money because instead of being put on death row where they can't talk or do work, they're actually doing work. Because it says right here, yeah, states that persons found guilty of murder and sentenced to life without possibility of parole must work while in prison as prescribed by the Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation.
And these guys will get credits from the other one, right? And then see early parole?
No, because they kill people.
Right.
Yeah, see?
Right. It's
And
not these guys.
Yeah, it's not these guys. So
This is a violent crime. It's premeditation murder.
Yeah, these are separate.
Let's see what these arguments, because it's pretty,
Yeah.
that's it. It's just repeal the death penalties, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what the arguments are. Let's see. See, first line. California's death penalty hasn't failed. It was intentionally sabotaged. Boom. For sake of victims, don't let them win. I like the use of caps in these arguments.
Right? They're allowed to do weird caps, and because you see it all over the place. Even the
The
argument
solution
in
to
favor.
mend, not end. Yep. The system is expensive because brutal killers foul. Endless, frivolous appeal, spending decades on death row. Who are they fooling? Yeah. Mass murderers / serial killers. Rape torture victims. Child killers. Terrorists.
I just think the two sides on this is people that are rational and then people that want revenge.
I do like revenge.
Yeah, and that's who they're going for because you could see even in their writing, like they get the fear idea, they get the rape torture, they get the emotions going. It's like, yeah, kill every rapist, kill all the murderers. Yet you're technically becoming a murderer if you're putting these people to death. So it's the weird double standard of justified killing.
No, Governor Jerry Brown here says a former attorney general said there are no innocent inmates in California's death row. So if Jerry Brown said that, I have to believe him. I don't know. This is pretty interesting. It's like, do you want a death penalty? Yes or no?
That's really the question. And so are you for the death penalty?
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. If someone's really bad, if they killed someone or killed many, and they planned it, yeah, let's kill them. Why not?
Yeah.
But this is, I just had it in my head. It's saying just no death penalty, but life in prison.
Yeah.
They're not giving them early parole or nothing. That's just a choice.
Yeah.
Either you're in death row or you're just life in prison.
Yeah, it's basically, should we as a society be killing people or not?
Mm-hmm.
I think to me, that's what it is.
It seems like it. Are we really talking about saving money?
No.
No,
I
we're
like
not really talking about it.
It's one of those things that even I don't really realize, because it hasn't really affected me, but I know a lot of people say, like, imagine someone killed your family. Wouldn't you want justice? Like, yeah, but I wouldn't want them dead. Like, I don't care if they're dead. The action is already done. Killing them won't bring anyone back. And if they're in jail, they're not killing anyone else. Just getting rid of them, I understand that, because if you have a faulty cog in the system, you just get rid of it. But I don't know. It's where you hold the sanctity of life, or what life is, or just understanding the killer. I've read a lot of books on killers, and I've seen a lot of documentaries, and they're interesting people. And that's what they are. They're still people. They just happen to kill other people. Should we kill them for that? I don't know. I feel like I can't say, and it's weird that I'm going to be voting on this, so I am saying. But I would rather say don't kill them, because I have no right to kill other people. And I don't think anyone else does. That's why they're in jail, because no one has that right. And I think that's where my stance on it is.
I think I lean the other side. Yeah.
Just get
Why
rid of them.
would I keep Hannibal Lecter in jail?
Hannibal Lecter solves crimes.
Oh, yeah, sure. And then he gets out and starts eating people's brains.
Yeah, that's cool. I'm fine with that.
This is an interesting one.
Yeah. But yeah, that's 62.
Yeah,
So
Proposition 62. You Californians have an important decision to make with this proposition.
yeah, it's pretty big.
Hold people's lives in your hands.
So halfway through, Proposition 63. This is I mean, a big one for Californians, because I think it's another war basically that we've been fighting, that that big politics has been fighting. It's all firearms, blah blah blah. So if you want to read the title of
Sure. Proposition 63. Firearms, ammunition sales, initiative statute.
Yep.
Right. To the point. Requires individuals to pass a background check and obtain Department of Justice authorization to purchase ammunition. Prohibits possession of large capacity ammunition magazines and requires their disposal as specified. Requires most ammunition sales to be made through licensed ammunition vendors and reported to Department of Justice. Requires loss of stolen firearms ammunition to be reported by law enforcement. Prohibits a person convicted of stealing a firearm from possessing firearms. Establishes new procedures for enforcing laws prohibiting firearms. Requires Department of Justice to provide. Yeah. Okay. Summary of legislative analysis. All right. Yeah, it's just about firearms.
Yeah. And it's, again, just limiting firearms. So this, I mean, it's just like the last one. It's pretty clear, because our country sets it pretty clear. You're either for
or against gun
freedoms, or
yeah,
the NRA would say freedoms, and then the other people would say, what would they say?
What's that term that they use? It's
gun control.
Gun control. That's the buzzword.
Gun control, and that's what this proposition is.
Yeah, it's
gun control. But it takes a next step saying ammunition control.
Mm-hmm.
So they're like, say, hey, take away, or whenever say is like they're taking away our guns, this kind of literally is taking away your guns if you fall under these things. Like if you get into a fight, if you punch a guy out, you're hit with assault, they will take all your guns away. That's what this is. That's it. Says it somewhere in here. For this, I know they're trying to get the guns out of like the hands of dangerous people, but I think assuming what dangerous people are is a bad thing to step into.
Background checks. Prohibits persons convicted of stealing a firearm from possessing a firearm. So if you steal a gun, you can't buy a gun legally.
Yeah, forever.
Yeah, legally.
Yeah.
I can still get a gun illegally,
Exactly.
but legally we can't do it.
right? And like,
Okay.
if you're stealing a gun, then you're not really going through the legal channels anyway.
Right? It's
So
yeah, what kind of a,
you're just gonna
yeah.
be doing it
Did
again.
you steal a gun before? Yeah.
You can't buy a gun. It's like, well, now
Yeah,
I have to steal
I have
a
to
gun.
steal a gun now.
Yeah, like it's perpetuating what they're already doing.
That was a pretty stupid bullet point there.
Yeah.
So requires lost or stolen firearms and ammunition be reported to law enforcement. It's like, I lost a magazine. Gotta call up my police department and tell them. Requires most ammunition sales be made through licensed ammunition vendors.
I think that's weird too.
Like people who aren't vendors of ammunition can sell ammunition. It's like me selling bullets at the swap meet.
Yeah. Technically, I mean, I don't know legally now, but this will make it illegal for you to do
It's
that.
already illegal.
Yeah, so
I
there
can't
you
do
go.
that.
I know of people that do that. They make bullets and they sell it to people because, I mean, these people are
That's
just
capitalism.
yeah. These people are shooters. Like, if you know gun owners,
I didn't
and
think of that.
they go to the gun range and they shoot,
Yeah.
and then there's a whole people that take those used cartridges and stuff and they recycle them and then they sell them with new gunpowder and everything. That's their business. And this will shut those people down
Until they get a license.
until they get a
Or
license.
they could just give out bullets, but
Yeah.
they're not making money anymore.
Yeah, and I don't know what this
Interesting.
license entails. It doesn't say.
Licenses to sell ammunition. Let me see. Beginning January 2018, individuals and businesses will be required to obtain a 1-year license from the DOJ to sell ammunition. Certain individuals and businesses will not be required to obtain a license, such as license under selling less than 50 pounds of ammunition per month, but a license under while on a hunting trip. Really? And so those like those people would just go to shoot one deer at a resort.
Mm-hmm.
The resort doesn't need a license because it's under 50 rounds of ammunition per month. And assuming those people are just going to shoot one bullet, maybe 5.
Well, the resort sells to everyone. Like, if you are a small fishing company or in small places with lakes, if you are just an outdoors place and they only carry about probably 20 cartridges of bullets, I don't think they will be the ones.
Yeah, they don't
But
need one because
they're not selling two gun, like they just happen to have bullets if someone wants them because they're just a small store.
well, even those people that you said that make their own bullets, they're fine too. They just have to sell less than 50 rounds per month. So you could still sell like 2 clips, a month. That's interesting. In addition, certain entities will be able to automatically receive the ammunition license, such as firearm dealers licensed by both state and federal. So you just get it.
Yeah.
A vendor who fails to comply with ammunition sale requirements 3 times would have their ammunition's dealer license permanently revoked. DOJ could charge a fee of to individuals and businesses seeking a license to sell ammunition to support it administrative enforcement.
But it doesn't say like I'm just assuming because it's a form to do this. These forms normally come with fees.
I'm sure.
So it's a way to make more money off of it just bothers me when government things like they put up statutes that affect businesses. And this is a big business effect. Like it will affect Walmart's, Big Five. I think Dick's also sells ammunition. All the places that just sell ammunition, like they're going to be hit on this. And why?
Gun control.
Because
there's bad people out there who buy those bullets.
Yeah, I guess statistically, like it's below 1% of the country shoots shoots up buildings.
But this isn't going to the individual. This is going to the businesses.
Yeah. Gun owners aren't these crazy people that a lot of the media puts them out as like gun hoarding. I'm going to shoot all the terrorists, going to shoot drones that fly over my house.
Heck, I'd shoot drones that fly over my house.
Yeah, it exists. There's people like that, but there's such a small amount of people like just all the gun owners I know just like to go and shoot like at a shooting range. Like, if you've never shot a gun before, shoot a gun. It's interesting. It's a weird thrill that smells good. It's like a weird thing inside of us that gets us pumped for holding that much power, I guess. It's punishing normal people for the acts of very, very few.
And those very few people probably aren't like just gun owners. They're probably just crazies and they just happen to have a gun.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
most of the time they don't even know how to use a gun. They just have it and then they just shoot people. Usually just crazies that get a gun
Yeah,
and probably train for like a week
right?
and then go do something bad.
Yeah, normally these kind of the people the people that are like this like take more poses with their guns than they actually shoot them.
Since 2000, state law has generally banned individuals from obtaining large capacity magazines.
I
The
read
law,
that.
however, allowed individuals who had large capacity magazines before 2000 to keep them for their own use. Beginning July 2017, recently enacted law will prohibit most of these individuals from possessing these magazines. Individuals who do not comply are guilty of an infraction. There are various individuals who will be exempt from this requirement, such as the individual who owns a firearm obtained before 2000 that can only be used with a large capacity magazine. Proposition 63 eliminates several of these exemptions, as well as increases the maximum penalty for possessing large capacity magazines. So pretty much if you have a gun that takes large capacity magazines and or you have large capacity magazines, you won't be able to keep those.
Yeah.
That's what it says.
Though I read the number, large capacity magazines defined as those holding more than 10 rounds of ammunition. That's like
That's a clip.
That's a clip. That's crazy. That's how little bullets you could have. We're basically stuck at 6-shooter revolvers.
Yeah.
When you read through these and you're for gun control. Like, I understand gun control. It's not what I think it's just on both sides. No one knows what each other is yelling about. People on the NRA is like, hey, don't take away our guns. People on gun control is like, we want to limit them. But both sides think of the extremes. But it's interesting to see this because I understand the gun owner part, because they're like, hey, like, what's going on? I haven't done anything. Why am I being punished for this? It's really limiting. And people...
And this is in California, so what if there is a bad person? He's like, oh, I can't get a gun in California. I guess I better get from Texas.
Yeah.
And they're still going to get a gun.
So, you don't even have to go to Texas. Arizona has open carry laws.
Anywhere.
Yeah.
It's funny. Like, you can still get a gun from somewhere else and just bring it over here.
Yeah. I think they're focusing on something that's completely irrelevant. And I think it's a poorly written proposition. It's I understand where they're going for, and I see the good intention for it, but I think it's misguided and it's very short-sighted.
So even if a person does get a gun with 10 bullets, he could still go to Walmart and shoot 10 people.
Yep.
And he could reload and get another 10.
Yeah.
But he can't get one gun with 20 bullets.
Mm-hmm.
He's still going to do mass murder.
Yeah.
And everyone else is getting punished for it.
Yeah.
Who actually obey the law.
Mm-hmm. The argument, the rebuttal to argument against it, I think is really weird how they word it. Is like, as law enforcement and public safety officials, we're not surprised that groups like the NRA and its affiliates oppose Proposition 63. Like, how pompous are you writing off this organization like just like that? Of course they're against it. Why do you even have to say that? Like, you're just saying like you're assuming everyone thinks that the NRA is a full of gun nuts. Like, just not even people like that are nuts about guns. The people that are literally insane and they just love guns. And that's what like they paint them as. And I think this is evidence that they want to paint them as that. It's like, oh, look at the NRA up again, It's like, but that's really not what the NRA is about. And again, I think it's both sides not understanding each other at all. Again, that's taking away people's personal choice to do what they want with their money, to get what they want.
It's
For the mistakes of the few, the majority shouldn't have to suffer for it.
And even if the few who do make those mistakes, the rest who are gun owners would actually go against those people anyways.
Yeah.
Because we're on the same team.
Right? Everyone knows that mass shooting is bad.
Yeah. And people who have guns aren't going to be like, oh, he's in a mass shooting, I'm going to join him because I have a gun. No, they're going to kill the mass shooter because that's not cool. It's not cool going around killing people. And gun owners know that. And if there's a gun owner next to someone who is committing a mass shooting, that gun owner is going to try to kill that guy.
Yeah. And that's,
if he's the only one there.
Yeah,
if there's a police officer, that's a police officer's job. You know? But if he's the only one there, they're not going to just join in and be like postal co-op. They're gonna do something about it.
Yeah.
It seems like people who are for gun control just see people with guns as they're all the enemy.
Yeah.
It's not like that.
Mm-mm. Yeah. Like the enemies or the quote unquote enemies are the same for both sides, and I don't know why both sides are fighting each other over how to deal with it. Like, they should just get together and like, all right, here are my concerns. Like, all you see is like weird trash talking back and forth. And that's basically it. And no one really gets their point across clearly enough to connect the two. They're just like, I want to limit guns. It's like, hey, don't limit our guns. We'll find like guns
don't limit
actually
our guns.
help.
Yeah. You're taking away our freedom.
Yeah.
Second Amendment, and so on, so on.
And then it goes on another topic of Second Amendment,
on.
and then it's completely away from the real problem of people doing mass shootings. And I don't know, it's really weird. I'm not for that.
Yeah, I'm not for mass shootings either.
Yeah, down with mass shootings. Period. That should be the proposition. Mass shootings, get rid of them.
We should make mass shootings illegal. Proposition 65. Mass shootings, illegal.
Yeah.
That's it. And then no one will do mass shootings, right?
Right.
They should be done. That's it. How simple is that? Yeah.
Duh.
Should just done that.
All right. Well, going over to the actual Proposition 65.
No. My bad, 65. Didn't mean to really screw you up there. Let's see. Proposition 65, carry-out bags, charges, initiative statute.
Both Proposition 65 and 67 are kind of in the same realm of topic.
Huh, interesting, yes.
So 65 is carry-out bags and charges. 67 is ban on single-use plastic bags. So this is actually very interesting that we're having this as a proposition. And again, it's government dealing with businesses of other people. It's really weird. All right. But yeah, 65 carry-out bags. So, you know, places, they sell their tote bags and stuff where blah, blah, blah. They keep that money. What this is that money has to go towards something, which I don't understand. Read through this and see if I'm
maybe
wrong.
You read it wrong.
If I read it wrong, but that's how I see this.
Yeah, you're right. Requires stores to deposit bag sale proceeds into a special fund administered by a wildlife conservation board to support specified categories of environmental projects. So if I go to Food for Less and buy a Food for Less bag created by Food for Less to sell in their own store, they don't get all of the profits.
Nope.
Some of it, probably it says somewhere in here how much, but some of it is going to go to the Wildlife Conservation Board, which I assume is going to be for like the fish or something.
Yeah.
Reef
the
Foundation,
reefs.
something like that. It's just pretty much saying if you're not familiar with supermarkets here in California, we actually get charged 10 cents per bag, plastic bag. like those disposable plastic bags. We get charged 10 cents for every bag we want. And now these stores have these like custom printed carryout bags. They're probably $1 usually.
Yeah, they're
They're
not
like-
too expensive.
No,
but
they're like nice
expensive
and
enough for me that
fancy
I
tote
don't get 'em.
bags. This measure requires that the resulting revenue be deposited into a new state fund, the Environmental Protection Enhancement Fund, for various environmental purposes rather than be retained by stores. The fund will be used to support grants and programs projected to lead to 1. Drought mitigation, 2. Recycling, 3. Clean drinking water supplies, 4. State, regional, and local parks, 5. Beach cleanup, 6. Litter removal, and 7. Wildlife habitat restoration. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Stores that have their own tote bags don't get to keep their money, and they have to give it to a fund.
Yeah. On the next page, the argument in favor, it's really so. Proposition 65 is needed to stop grocery stores from keeping all the money collected from carry-out bag taxes as profit instead of helping the
Oh,
environment.
think of the children.
Right? That's it.
Yeah.
Think of the children. And the next one is grocery stores stand to getting up to $300 million in added profits each year and every year unless you vote yes.
Well, why don't they keep that money?
Yeah, why shouldn't they?
Yeah, it's their things.
It's their business.
Yeah. That money should be dedicated to the environment, not more profits for corporate grocery chain. The heck is up with this person?
Right? The grocery stores are not a government or community project. It's a business that seeks profit. Why should they help the environment?
That's up to them to decide.
Yeah, it's up to them to do it. Like, I don't know why this like is even up here. Like, who was like, yeah, that's a good idea. Like, it's like telling a business what to do with
This
their
actually
money.
isn't for tote bags. It's for plastic bags.
Is it for plastic
Yeah.
bags?
Bags aren't free. They cost your local grocery up to 50 cents each. It doesn't say tote bags anywhere. I think this is just plastic bags. Yeah, this is just normal
Single-
plastic bags.
Well, it says right here is stores typically provide their customers a blah 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 single use, and then it goes to multiple use plastic bags. Stores frequently provide single use paper bags.
So
each
I think
year.
this is all bags because it's just classified as carry-out bag.
Yeah.
It could be anything. It could be the plastic ones, paper ones, single use, multi-use, tote, all that.
Yeah.
It's just any bag that the store is gonna give you, they're not getting all the profit,
Yeah.
and they should because they bought the bags. They went and to a bag manufacturer, bought 1 billion bags with their own money because they're a business.
Yeah.
And they're selling it to us because we're the customer. And now this proposition wants to take half of that. I'm going to say half of that money and give it to the animals
Yeah.
or cleaning water, all that jazz.
Yeah, and it's not even like they're tricking us. Like, oh, you got me to buy all these bags from you. Like, no, you bring in your own bags.
Yeah.
People do that. Like, that's they're fine with that. So I don't know why this has to be a thing. Like, if you have a problem with buying their bags, then just don't buy their bags. Bring in your own bags.
I'm just more upset that they're taking away profits from stores.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, Proposition 68. All the peanut butter that you sell, half of the profit is going to tree research.
Yeah.
Like, why?
Yeah.
And yeah, that affects every store in California. Just 'cause?
Yeah. Just it feels like a lot of these are like just like, we need more money. Where can we find like a way to tax weird businesses?
And they always say it's
in
like,
weird
oh, we're
ways?
just putting in a fund
Yeah.
to make it sound more pleasing. We're gonna clean our water with this clean water fund.
Yeah.
Like, aren't you supposed to have plants doing that? Not plants. I mean, like actual
Yeah.
factories, like cleaning our water.
Right? Like,
What's wrong with those factories? Why do they need more money? What did you do wrong?
right. Yeah. It just feels like they dug themselves in the corner. Like, and they're like, oh, we need a way out of this. We need more money. We did something wrong. Like, and they're just trying.
Some of this money is gonna go into state, regional, and local parks. Like, what happened to the parks?
Yeah. They get money.
You don't. Yeah, is that money not enough? If not, then we should probably be doing something else about the parks.
Yeah.
Not charging businesses and taking their money away.
Yeah, charging the actual taxes that we actually do give for the community to actually go towards something better, not tax companies just because you want them to be taxed so you could use them to have them pay for it.
This reminds me of like one of them whiny people who are like, oh yeah, you made like $100. Yeah, you know there's like starving people in Africa. You know,
Yeah,
they could use that money.
exactly. I think that's, yeah,
It's like this is the argument.
it is.
It's like, wow, you made $300 million food for less.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we could be using that money.
Yeah, why aren't
you donating it? Yeah, why aren't you putting that money into the city?
Yeah,
It's like, well, food for less doesn't want to
yeah,
because it's a
like
business.
we don't have to. We're a business. Like,
Yeah, I mean
we're-
they probably do. They
Yeah, I
have
mean,
their own.
they do have their own taxes, so
Yeah.
technically they are paying more than the person who brought this up.
But the
to
one
the
person who
environment.
saw that all that profit is like,
Yeah.
we should really put a Proposition 65 and let the people decide
Yeah,
what to do with your money.
right? All right. Proposition 65. What are for or against?
Against.
All right.
Yeah.
Against. I agree. All right.
That's pretty easy. That's really
Easy.
stupid proposition.
Yeah.
Whoever put this in our ballot, you knocked out another proposition that was probably more important. No, it wasn't probably. It was more important than 65. You should be ashamed.
Yeah, these people that have done this, favor executive director of California Taxpayer Protection Committee. You're not protecting anyone. And executive director of California Senior Advocates League. So people that see
Old people?
old people, like, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, 65, you're a bust. Get out of here. All right, 67.
So Proposition 67 is a confusing one because
Yeah.
the first line is a yes vote approves and a no vote rejects.
Because it's that confusing, they
Yeah.
have to put that as their first thing.
It's
Like,
usually when propositions are for banning something and you say no. So that means you're allowing it.
yeah.
It's the reverse.
It's like
So.
Prop 8 back in the day. Like,
Yes,
people
everyone was confused about
they
that.
were really like confused. It's like, wait, like, yes, is I'm for gay or
Yeah.
no? Like,
Like Proposition 8, no. Like I don't want gays. But I think no was allowing gays
yeah, because it was to
ban
to
something.
ban,
Yeah.
gay marriage.
So Proposition, that was Proposition 8.
yeah,
That was a long time ago.
it was.
Proposition 67, ban on single-use plastic bags. Referendum. So here's another plastic bag thing.
Yep.
So let's see. Prohibits grocery and certain other retail stores from providing single-use. See, now they can't even make a profit. They're just stopping the stores from it. You know what? We're not even going to sell these bags anymore. See, if the other one goes, if the other one passes, this one's just like, fuck it.
Fuck,
Ban
yeah.
them.
It's like, get rid of them. It's not doing anything
Jeez.
anyway.
Okay. So, what if 67 bans them and then 65 doesn't get enough votes, so it doesn't matter because they're banned.
Yeah.
So, okay, 67. Prohibits grocery and certain other retail stores from providing single-use plastic or paper carryout bags to customer at point of sale. Permits sale of recycled paper bags and reusable bags to customers at a minimum price at 10 cents per bag. So they can't be new. They have to be recycled.
Yeah. We're basically switching out all bags to recycled paper bags.
So no plastic bags, just
Yeah.
paper bags.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Keeping it old school, right? Before when we used to just have paper bags.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. I can't fit too much into those. I do like the feel of paper bags when they come out of the store. Like, paper. And it's kind of vertical.
Yeah.
Plastic bags are kind of
paper bags, if they were to do this, they need to put some hand holes. That's the one thing I don't like.
Hand holes.
Back in the day when they're like paper or plastic, always plastic because they had grips.
Mm-hmm.
The paper is literally a paper bag. You have to kind of crumple up so you could get some kind of grab on there. And if you have a watermelon and a thing of milk, you're like, ugh, you have to hold it like a child because there's no hand grips.
Interesting.
So, like, kind of going against of, like, what I've said all night of government telling businesses how to run. I get this a lot more than anything else because, one, these plastic bags are really bad for the environment.
Right.
I understand that. Everyone should understand how bad plastic is.
Mm-hmm.
Look at, like, we have a bag full of plastic bags because we...
Don't worry, I'm going to burn them soon. It's all right. Just give me some more time.
But, like, we don't throw them away because, I mean, that's a bad thing to do.
Yeah, there's nothing's going to happen.
I like this on that where it's trying to minimize plastic bags because we really do need to minimize.
This isn't banning bags in general.
Yeah,
it's just banning plastic ones.
bags.
But it's like, hey, you gotta start selling paper.
Yeah, but
so we're gonna have some sort of carryout bag.
Yeah, but I think it's a weird way to go. I think we have better ways of dealing with plastic. Like, there should be at least another business or something else dealing with these bags that are recycling these plastic bags. I think that's the way we should go and just try to learn with it. But I get this. Like, I think this is a quick fix, and it doesn't really. I don't think it should bother anyone.
Yeah, I really don't see that much bad on this.
Yeah, like,
because we're still getting bags.
Yeah,
they're paper bags.
Doing something just better. Like,
it does suck for the bag manufacturing companies, though.
Yeah,
and plastic single-use bag manufacturing.
That's what they say.
They're gonna go bust.
Yeah, and
that does suck.
And the arguments against and everything, and it's like it's just people that are for those companies. It's like, hey, this is our company. Like, why are you making this illegal? Which they have a good point of why to make it illegal.
Yeah,
it's unnecessary to have these plastic bags now. Like, we have all these other
eco-friendly stuff.
Yeah,
right?
Eco-friendly things. Like, and we do know, like, it is fact that these bags are fucking up this planet and will fuck it up, like, for the next as long as they're fucking down there until they turn into some unknown future source like gasoline is. Like, one day we'll have a weird ground bag fuel in like 10,000 years of all the plastic that has just turned into something else. But yeah, these plastic's not too good in this planet, and we keep throwing it and digging and burying it. So
this kind of reminds me of the tax on cigarettes.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm kind of backpedaling on like what I've been for, just because what I think it really is because these plastic things are not
hurting
only
the environment.
It's hurting the future. It's hurting
not
a lot
the individual.
More than the individual. Like, if I smoke, I'm hurting myself. If I just get a whole bunch of plastic bags, I'm throwing them away, and it's no longer not. It's not affecting me, but it's affecting future generations.
That's a good argument.
And I think that's really why I take this stance on this, because this doesn't affect us. We could spend the next 100 years using plastic bags, and like, it won't affect us whatsoever. But it will affect people in like 500 years from now.
Because like, what if I do want bags? But yeah, that's taking a choice away from me, the individual. It's like, I want plastic. I love plastic. I hate paper. Yeah. And now you're banning it. But the plastic isn't hurting me. It's pretty much just hurting the environment because it's not biodegradable. It's just there.
Yeah,
and it's always all over the freeways, and no one's cleaning it up. and it's just dirty and just there
Yeah,
in the
like,
oceans.
if anyone goes through LA, just look around and just see what this plastic does. And that's why I think it's good that it's on here for California, because it is a California big
That's
issue.
a California issue. Yeah,
It's a heavy California issue. Like, you go around, there's just plastic bags everywhere because you just get them.
I mean, it sucks for those companies though.
Yeah.
It sucks for the bad companies.
But like I said, they could have switched. Like, if your company is in a failing market, it's your fault that you're still in there watching the whole thing burn around you. Like, you should have jumped ship or put investments into something else. Like leave with some dignity. Don't fight for something that's failing. Yeah, the people that fail in here, they should have seen it coming, and I feel no pity for them.
Just the placement of these propositions are kind of weird. It's like ban single-use plastic bags, or ban the death penalty. It's just
Yeah.
These choices I gotta make.
Yeah.
In this
And
one day.
then the last thing I basically I didn't mark it up just because I don't want to spend too much time talking about it. But Proposition 64.
64. All right. Marijuana legalization.
Yeah. I didn't want to
Initiative
spend too much time on it because,
Because you're biased and you're
I'm
marijuana and
very,
you're based.
very biased.
You're based.
Yeah. I completely support marijuana legalization. I've seen it work in Washington, and I mean, to me it works, and that's it. That's all I have to say about Proposition 64 is that I'm voting yes on it, and I think everyone should, but I'm very biased.
You guys noticed that the typeface on Proposition 64 is like 0.15? 15 point? It's huge.
It is.
Why is it so big? I'm looking at all the other ones, and the ones are like 8-point type, and Proposition 64 is 15.
You're right. I don't know.
Why? Legalizes marijuana, designates state agencies as license, regulate, imposes tax, exempts medical marijuana from some taxation, establishes packaging, labeling, advertisement, prohibits marketing to minors, allows regulations. Okay, we're making marijuana into a business.
Yep.
Good business. That's fine.
Freedom of the person. If the person wants to smoke pot, let them smoke pot.
Yeah, and even says here it's not targeting children.
Yeah.
Let adults be adults.
Right. And it's an adult age. It's 21. I'm fine with that because I'm 25. And it really does stop. I don't want to call it trafficking, but street dealers, it stops them. Like, up in Washington, I knew a few guys that sold weed prior to it becoming legal. And when it became legal, they were like, I didn't have a market. Like, I couldn't compete with those prices. And some people I know that could, but I don't even know how they're still going. Like, basically all I have to say
It's
about
pretty
that.
easy, yeah. It's just marijuana is becoming legal, and they're going to impose rules.
The rules are fair.
Yeah.
People.
Well, I don't know if it's fair. It's just like tax of 15% on retail sale of marijuana. $9.25 per ounce. Is that good?
Yeah.
Ounce of flowers? And $2.75 per ounce of leaves? I have no idea what this is, but
yeah,
you let me know. Is that a good price?
The taxation isn't that bad. I read recently that the price in Colorado of weed has dropped significantly. So the tax doesn't really affect the person. It just, because it just grew as a product, so the price dropped. The taxes are the same, so they could tax as much as they want. Like, it's still going to be kind of around the same prices of what you could already buy it for at a medical dispensary. But yeah, it's The pricing is fine, and yeah, just don't drive really high.
Yeah, don't drink and drive.
Don't
Don't
drink
drive
and
really
drive,
high.
yeah.
Don't be on your phone when you drive. You should probably just be driving when you drive.
Yeah. But yeah, that's the only like real argument against this is like hey, we don't know how to ticket people that are under the influence, and that's it. Like,
Well, they'll figure it out.
yeah, they'll figure
Yeah.
it out, but if as a people, if we kind of hold back, I know it's a lot to ask. Just don't drive intoxicated. Everyone should know this.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, we have Uber and things that pick you up. They're not that expensive. So, but yeah, that's those are just the ones that I wanted to talk about because I went through this quite a bit.
That was a good one. Yeah. I had not read this book. So this was the first time going through it, and I was surprised at some of these propositions.
Yeah,
So
I think that's whoever's listening. I hope this surprised you. Actually, I hope it didn't because I hope you read through this.
I intentionally did not read it because we were going to do it here live.
Yeah. And and it's good because then I could talk to someone who hasn't gone through this, like how I would hope people are listening to this. Like, hey, I haven't even looked at it. So just on these things, go vote. Like, at least you could vote on 7 things on this ballot. At least, even if you don't even want to read anything else, these 7 are something to vote on. And I think it's pretty important.
Voting is important. At least local stuff.
Local
That's
voting is important.
Super important.
There's no electoral college for your local vote.
Yep.
So yeah. Anything else?
No, that was pretty good. I guess I'll just read the rest of this book later.
Yeah.
Get ready for November.
I suggest everyone. I know you could go into all these websites. Just look up even if you're not in California, if you're in other places in the world, this is kind of what's happening in your state too. I know there's at least 6 other states with a marijuana legalization with you weird people that call them like questions. All those states and I saw a whole thing they don't have propositions, they have questions.
Question and answers. I like them.
Yeah, like I thought it was really
Question
weird.
the 5th.
Yeah, so go answer your questions. But yeah, go through your government website, whatever is out there for you.
Mm-hmm.
But go through them all. Hopefully you just go and vote for that. Please don't let the presidential election deter you from actually voting.
Mm-hmm. Local things.
Well,
Election, Tuesday, November 8th, 2016. Polls open from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. on Election Day.
Yeah, I guess that's it. So if you liked to listen to us, just subscribe. If you completely disagree with us, tell us in the comments.
Sure, tell us why.
Yeah,
it's fun.
We're very open-minded. Like I understand all sides except for Proposition 65. Like I don't get that one. But yeah, just talk to us. We'll talk back because we're just 2 dudes in an apartment, just waiting.
Mm-hmm. And I feel like if we see some interaction that's fun to discuss, we'd probably do it live.
Yeah, we'll completely do it live, and if you guys want to talk to us,
That'd be fun.
Yeah. So there you go. This was Justin Roming and
Cesar Torres,
and you just listened to a podcast in room 403.